Hello, welcome to Family We've Got Your Back. This week we're again talking about gratitude. And so our topic this week is about how to apply gratitude. So we're basically going from concept to how does this work in my own life, right?
Yeah.
So that's because that's what math teachers do, right? They teach you how to apply what you're learning, right?
In theory.
That's
what we do.
Well,
yeah.
That's what math teachers should do, right? Because it's like, well, how am I going to use this in my everyday life? You're not.
You will not.
But if you want to build a bridge.
Specifically, you will not.
Oh, my word.
I'm sorry.
I hope you never say that. Can you imagine? No, you're a moron. You will not use this in your daily life. Don't bother. I mean, seriously.
Maybe in a couple decades you might use it. If.
Yeah, never. No.
I'm not that person. I just want to put
he's
out there.
really
I'm
not.
not that person.
You teach math to all so that all may have the possibility, right? And so we're teaching you gratitude and how to apply it, how to use this in your daily life so that you can,
So we have our definition there. It's the same definition we shared last week.
Right.
Of being appreciative of benefits received, affording pleasure or contentment, and thankful, right?
So when you are grateful, you are content.
Mm-hmm.
When you are grateful, you're appreciative. You are thankful.
And
you find pleasure in things that most people could see as a negative.
And maybe not pleasure exactly, but at least you value it.
Yeah, you find value.
You find value in the things
happiness or joy or whatever it is, right? In things that a lot of people would see as obstacle in their life, you see as a benefit, and you are grateful for that and thankful for that and embrace that so that you can become better.
And there's a weird dichotomy that happens too, because even though you might be feeling painful or frustration, you can feel pain, whatever. You can feel pain and frustration and still be thankful.
That's true.
And so there's seems to be like there's a conflict there between those two things. But no, you really can find value and you can find peace even in your hard times. And today our things are not typical things that you feel grateful for.
Right.
So
yeah. So our first one, we're doing situations, right?
Yeah,
so situations you're in that you can apply gratitude and it will change the way you live in that situation, change the way you see it, change the way you interact, and it will strengthen your relationships instead of make them a negative. So this past year I've been really just struggling to find my place on earth. So what am I supposed to do? Because I had a path, I had a plan, I was going for it, and at the last minute it was yanked away from me. And things just kept happening to me that were just awful.
Yeah.
Out of my control. I didn't do anything to you, and yet I'm being really, truly mistreated.
Tried and
And what I've discovered that I'm supposed to be learning is meekness, learning how to control my temper, because I am the messed up hormone situation with me is too much adrenaline, right? And when you're in a constant state of fight or flight, it's not going to stay as fear. Your brain will turn it into something other than fear, typically.
Right.
And my brain changes it to anger. So if you've ever seen Inside Out, my first thing would be the red guy, the anger.
Yeah.
And just lose my top all the time because my pressure cooker is already full, and at one more thing that adds pressure and I blow it, right? And I don't want to be that. I have a brain and I can choose to feel differently. And I have discovered that gratitude reduces the pressure more than anything else.
Yeah, it would.
And so we're using gratitude as a verb this week.
Right. Yeah. Very much so.
So,
well,
sorry, our son is apparently shouting at memes upstairs. Anyway, fat cats rolling downstairs are apparently something worth shouting at. I don't know, whatever.
The dog that caught the frisbee.
Oh, the dog. Anyway. So sorry, we live in a full house and it's going to be noisy sometimes. So anyway, we're talking about gratitude as a verb. So things that you can do with gratitude that will change how you interact with your family members when you are in conflict, right?
Yeah.
So one of the reasons we're talking about this is we don't want you to make the same mistakes we make. And typically when I say we, I mean me. But we've both made mistakes in anger.
Yep.
And typically, if you're angry, you're going to make a mistake, especially in your relationships.
Right.
And so we're not trying to be hypocritical. We're trying to say, use our experience as a learning tool for yourself and don't make the same mistakes. Use gratitude instead of staying in your anger or your conflict, right?
Right.
So how to apply gratitude in your situation, right? So specifically, right? Let's say a spouse, right? And you are not butting heads over money, right?
Typical one, yeah.
You could, I don't know, let's say you do have a job, right? But the money's not going far enough. So you're struggling over how to handle the limited resource that you have, right? And so instead of, I'm making this up on the spot. We're not having a conflict, so I have to make it up, right?
Yeah.
At the moment, we're not fighting. So anyway, so how do you apply gratitude? Can you come up with something off the top of your head?
Well, so in that kind of a situation, you literally, first of all, if you're in a situation where you're finding lacking that way, there's still so much that you can reflect upon, right? Like, the fact that your family is, well, are we fighting about the money, or are we just having a conflict with the money? Is the conflict between the individuals or the money? It's
between the individuals, but about the money.
Right.
So I'll go first since you're struggling. Okay. So instead of focusing on the lack, right? Because that's what you're focusing on.
Mm-hmm.
Change your focus to gratitude for what you have.
Yeah.
And so part of the definition of being grateful is being content, right? And so instead of saying, well, we need this and this and this and this, for example, we need a fence so that the dog isn't inside and not following me to my bedroom, so that when I get into my bed, I kick it in the face, not knowing, like, that's what happened today. I was sitting on my bed, getting into my bed to sit on my bed to do something, and I kicked the dog in the face because I didn't know she was following me around. And I felt so bad, I gave her a tater tot, which was so bad, but it doesn't have onion or garlic in it, so she could eat it. And I felt bad for kicking her, so I gave her food, right?
She appreciated it, I'm sure.
I'm sure she did. But I don't want her in the house. I want her outside, right? So we need a fence. So convoluted story, we need a fence. Trent's in grad school. There's no money. How are we going to get a fence? So I have to live with a dog in the house, right?
Yeah.
So instead of being mad that there's no money for a fence and shouting at Trent because the dog was in our bedroom and I had to give it a tater tot because I kicked it in the face, right, this is obviously a made-up argument because, I mean, I did kick the dog in the face, but we're not fighting over a fence because I kicked the dog in the face, right?
No.
So anyway, see what I'm going for? Saying, being grateful that I could have a tater tot instead of not having a fence. Okay. Just so
That's where that was going.
See, it's kind of a fun journey, isn't it?
It's a fun journey.
Okay. So, or you could expand that I actually have a warm, dry house.
Well, and
right?
truthfully,
because a lot of people do not have warm, dry
no,
houses. They don't need a fence, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have dogs.
Right.
And they want them. Grateful we have it. Well, okay.
Well, and
grateful
I would,
the kids enjoy having a dog.
And I would just say I can't preface it because we're already halfway through this, but whenever you're in a conflict with a family member, it's also important to recognize that the family is the great experiment.
It really is.
You don't necessarily have to like the people in your family, because you all come with different traits, different things. You want to
learn to. You want to learn to like them as well as learn to love them.
Right. So you want to learn how to appreciate each person in your family and any difference that you have of opinions, every difference you have with regards to how you think and feel needs to be valued. And it should be a safe place if you have a healthy family dynamic.
Your home should be a safe place, so make it.
But it's completely experiment. Even when you've agreed to be your spouse, there's still so much.
Wait, what?
I'm saying if you've agreed, if you have a marriage situation.
You've agreed to have a spouse. Okay, I thought,
if you've agreed,
I haven't agreed to be you. I was confused.
If you've agreed to be the spouse,
if you've agreed to be a spouse,
then
see. Okay.
You already have that commonality. You've already chosen each other, but you have to continue to choose. You've mentioned that before,
right? Yes, daily choose your spouse,
and so
right. And part of helping you make that choice is gratitude.
Yes, right. So your family should be hopefully the great experiment that you're continuing to tweak and continually to try to build those relationships in a safe place, and with the understanding that it's not always going to be roses and chocolate.
No, you're going to have so many differing emotions. And some people say you can't put positive and negative on emotions. I say, well, yeah, you can.
You can train yourself.
Yes, there are some things that okay, you need to turn your sound on, friend. So anyway, but yeah, so conflicts within the family can be changed by, instead of focusing on the fight or the lack of whatever it is that you are butting heads with, lack of respect, lack of support, lack of kindness, lack of love, lack of affection, whatever is lacking in your relationship. Instead of focusing on the lack, focus on something that you can appreciate.
Yeah. Even if you have to go back decades.
Well, I'm not saying this happened, so I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
Say, just about the situation, say, I'm grateful I have a spouse.
Right. Or an obnoxious teenager.
Or
whatever.
Yeah,
right?
Well, don't add obnoxious to the teenager, because that negates
it does.
That makes it harder. You're fighting your own mind, right?
Yeah.
So just... Okay, so start with, I'm grateful I have a spouse. Yeah. I'm grateful I'm not in this alone.
Yep.
Right? And then
let that
go from there.
Mind. Yeah, let that fill yourself.
And say, okay, since I am grateful for this person, how do I want to treat this person?
Right.
And you're coming from, okay, I appreciate you. Let's figure out how to solve this together instead of... Yes. Because
focusing on the negative.
Nobody wins when you fight. Right?
Right.
Okay. So the next conflict is work situations. Now, again, civilization starts with the word civil. The root word is civil. So at least be civil at work. Mm-hmm. Right? no offense, but don't be disdainful in your mind about people and then pretend to be nice to them. So we're trying to actually change your mind about the people you work with so that you're actually grateful to be working with them, even if you have differing opinions.
Yeah.
So that you can be real and not have to fake your relationships.
Yeah.
So that you are actually civil and not just pretending to be civil.
Because that has, people get ulcers from that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
You know, trying to put on one face when their internal mind is going completely opposite, and it's
that's
super trying.
That's why I could not continue any longer to work at the hardware store that I was working at, because no matter what I did, the coworker who had no responsibility over me or power or anything, I had a couple that had no authority over me in any way, trying to exert authority over me in ways that were so inappropriate, like screaming at me in front of customers and other coworkers for something that I didn't even do. Right. I didn't know how to.
Or should have been a non-issue.
Or should have, exactly. Yeah. Like, you don't get to choose where I stand, so why are you screaming at me over where I'm choosing to stand? Yeah. When I'm doing my job perfectly well from where I'm standing, just because it's not where you want me to stand, right? Like, stupid things like that. And, like, it's... why should it matter? You know, as long as I'm doing my job right, why should it matter? And I would just be sick inside, like just be awake at night thinking, okay, how can I prevent a blow up tomorrow from this person? Because I wouldn't answer back. I would be like, okay, thank you. And then I'd change what they wanted me to change, and then they'd scream at me for changing. And I couldn't prevent, no matter what I tried, their anger, their displeasure at anything I did. Like, you can't do anything right type thing. And so I couldn't, no matter what I chose to do, they chose to look at it as wrong.
Yeah.
And
So
anyway, how do you, so this is a real situation. I eventually had to quit because I tried for 1.5 years, almost 2 years almost 1.5 years to work with this person. And I just couldn't handle the stress anymore of being screamed at for things that I just didn't do. Right. I couldn't.
Well,
and so I would, to handle it, for as long as I did, I would say, okay, I am grateful for this. I'm grateful that they are teaching me how to do this, or I'm grateful that I can go to them with a question and they know the answer, right? Or I'm grateful to have a job. I'm grateful that I can feed my family. Like, just being grateful that you have a job at all gets you through a lot. Yeah, instead of hating your job and saying, I wish I had a different one, saying, I'm grateful that I have a job and the benefits that I have.
Right.
And that's the being grateful for my job, even though it was difficult. And I had to just drag myself to it every day.
And every job is going to have some oppositions.
It is. It's not called work. It's not called vacation. It's not called fun. It's called work for a reason. It's because you don't want to do it.
And people are going to have different attitudes about how it should be done, like you experienced. And it's just, I still remember my boss when we lived down in Cedar City, and his relationship with his subordinates was not healthy, but there were times we could look forward to him treating us well. And so, there was just
And that's what you focused on.
And that's what you had to focus on, the good things that happened because of your work. And I was providing for my family. And even though the trip, the travel down and the travel back was super, super long, and I was gone for a lot of the day, there were definite benefits, employment as well as other things.
Yeah, experience, right? Teaching.
Experience and stuff. So once again, you got to find a way to find those positives in your work situations, even if there's negativity. And like I said, Michelle made the right choice about leaving that place because it was impacting her mental health way too much.
Yeah, I would.
And it was just not so there was.
And so I did have a plan. Like I was going to go to grad school, right? Mm-hmm. I was, and so that I could like provide for my family well and it didn't work out. And so I'm still like stuck in that wilderness of what do I do? I'm kind of lost. And so a year later, I'm lost still. And I can't figure out why things aren't where that, door being shut, the window being opened. I'm like waiting for that window to open. And it's a hard situation for us. Yeah. And so I'm grateful that I'm not in that situation anymore. Right? So so my lack of work, I am grateful that I get to be home where I want to be. Truthfully, what I would like is to have to be an entrepreneur in that I'm doing this as a job, right? From my home, deciding my own hours so I can still be a mother to my children, eventually, hopefully, a grandmother to my grandchildren, right? Like have the freedom that I will need to take care of my family, because for me, that is my main job.
Right.
So that is what we're saying is be grateful, find something to be grateful for with the coworkers or the situation that you are struggling with. Mm-hmm. Okay. And our final one is conflicts with yourself, right? And so I was talking a little bit about that.
Right.
So yeah, I'm home, but my struggle is with myself. It's like, what's the right next step for me? Mm-hmm. And being angry or fighting with myself about where I am in my life isn't helping me take that next step. It's just being angry that I'm in the situation I'm in, right? It's like I leave one bad situation to be in another. It's like, So instead of viewing it as a bad situation, I need to find find something to be grateful for, to apply that so that I can then clear the clouds, the fog, right? So that I can see that, right? I'm just looking for one next step, right?
Yeah.
Because it feels like everything I try isn't the right thing. And so I'm lost and wandering in this fog. And so I'm trying to just clear the fog enough to see where I should step next, right? See if there's an inkling of a path. And gratitude will pave the way for that.
Well,
right?
and there's a couple of things that you should consider when you're having inner conflict too. Is we don't know how long inner conflict lasts. It just depends on the situation, right?
Yeah, and I'm not talking about specifically inner conflict, but like situational. But it doesn't involve anyone else. So the relationship you're having with yourself, the conversations that you have with yourself. And I'm not talking about schizophrenia. I'm talking about the way you talk to yourself, the thoughts you have about you and your life and the things that you're doing in your life. Mm-hmm. Right? And saying, I hate this situation. Well, no, let's find something to be grateful for instead. Right? So that you're not in this stirring up of upsetness, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Don't be a stirrer of trouble and upsetness and anger and the negativity. Calm those waters, and gratitude can be that oil on troubled water, right?
Yeah.
You've heard that expression, putting oil on water to calm.
No.
Well, anyway,
I have not.
Okay,
I
anyway.
A bridge over troubled water.
Okay, well then you build a bridge and I'll put oil in the water. I'll be Exxon Valdez and you'll be
analogy makes sense though.
You'll be San Diego Bridge. I don't know, whatever. San Francisco Bridge. Where is it?
San Francisco.
Okay, San Francisco. Okay.
Golden Gate.
Golden Gate Bridge, that's what it is. Anyway, so
Anywho, so yeah, any inner turmoil you have, just recognize that that's the inner turmoil or inner conflict. I still look at my students that don't have inner conflict as being not lesser, but the whole point of inner conflict is that that's what helps you develop a thick skin, and it shows that you still care about things.
Well, yeah, it's like that constant striving has to become better, has to be fueled by something.
When I have,
and it's usually a struggle with, okay, I'm in this situation. I'm grateful I'm here because it will help me take the next step to where a better place, right?
And you can just be thankful for that inner conflict because once again, it shows that you care.
It does.
And caring is something that we need a lot of. Right. You know, I mean, we need to care about things deeply that we value deeply. And as soon as that fire goes out when you see something that is wrong, that's not a very good place to be.
Apathy.
Apathy.
Or again, we'll talk about Inside Out, the ennui, of Inside Out 2, she suddenly ennui is a thing. And apathy is never, or
right.
That's never good enough in a relationship, right?
Right.
Like some things you can okay, whatever, that's not worth the fight, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want to, but other things it doesn't have to produce a fight, but it does have to produce a fire that will provide some energy for lift so that you can be propelled forward. Right. Let those angsty things in your life propel you to a better self instead of propelling you or keeping you in that situation, just the wallowing. Don't let it
you got to learn how to either develop the thick skin or you need to learn how to push through or persevere through that situation.
And thick skin meaning you are able to handle more, you become stronger, and the negativity that the world throws at you, people throw at you, that you can withstand that. There's a beautiful book by Max Lucado called You Are Special. And it's about these wooden dolls called Wemmicks. And they go around putting stickers on each other.
When they see a fault.
When they see a fault, they give you a sticker. Or when they see you do something good, you get a gold star, right? And then there was this one little guy, Punchinello, I think his name was.
I think that's right.
He was covered in dots, no stars whatsoever. Everybody just, you're covered in dots. I'm going to give you another dot because that's bad. Seriously.
Right.
And no gold stars. Right.
Yeah.
And he let that get to him. And people can be really, really awful.
Yeah, they can.
And then he saw one
Wemmick
with nothing on her, and
no stars,
and people would try to put dots on her because she had nothing, and they wouldn't stick. Or a gold star didn't stick, and she was like, "Because it doesn't matter to me." That sticking power of that sticker was gone for her because it didn't matter to her.
But it wasn't because of apathy. It wasn't because of she knew who she was, and she had value.
Yeah. And all the negative things that people said about her didn't matter to her because she knew who she was.
Right.
And so that's the kind of strength we're talking about, that thick skin, the armor, if you will, that allows people in for you to love them. But the negativity doesn't matter because you know who you are.
Yeah.
And you know you are valuable. And you know your motives. And you know you're doing your best. And it doesn't matter what they say or do.
Right.
So hopefully someday we can all get to a point where that inner strength can come because of the gratitude and love we feel. Not just for ourselves, but for those around us. So that when they say something mean, you don't judge them harshly, but you can love them anyway.
Yeah.
That's where we want to get to. Right. That's the point. There's so many mistakes that we make that we don't want to make them anymore, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we want to help you, is so that you can have a great life and great relationships. So our assignment for this week is to reflect on your uncomfortable situations, right?
Yeah.
And find something that you can be grateful for in them, right?
Yeah.
Find something to be grateful for, whether it's a difficulty in familial relationships or friendships, like personal relationships at work. Mm-hmm. So you need to find one for personal relationships, for work, and one for with yourself. And keep up your journaling, right? Every day we've been grateful for our trees. Seriously, we could not stop laughing the other day because our kids were talking about the trees, right? And yesterday, my gratitude thing was a neighbor of ours has cancer. And so I made soup, and a lot of people have been helping with meals for them. And so as a thank you, she's like, what can I do to thank everybody? So she's been crocheting or little round scrubbies, like dish scrubbers. Yeah. Little round things. And my son didn't see the note that says with the little poem that talked about the scrubby, right? And he's like, why do we have a yarmulke, right? And then I had another son come in and it's like, why do we have this yarmulke, right? I'm like, you guys, anyway. And we laughed so hard about that. So that made my day. The boys mistaking this dish scrubber for a yarmulke, right? And now they're putting it on our dog, and Esther, our oldest, was like, Mom, Ava's trying to make the dog Jewish. And Dad then said, because he's the house of Reuben. Right? Okay, so that went in my gratitude journal today because of how funny that was. It was funny. And it's one of those you had to be there situations, because, oh my word, that is so funny for us. Oh, I'm going to think about it for the rest of my life, hopefully, because I wrote it down, how funny that was. And so continue your gratitude journals and find something to be grateful for in your conflict right now. Okay.
Have a good week.
Bye-bye.